In this section, we're going to be talking about your profile picture. So this is something really important to get right, not just because it's going to be at the very top, front and center of your account, but also when you comment on photos, which is going to be a really important way to gain traction on your account. On mobile, your profile picture is going to show up next to all of your comments. So it's really important to let people know who you are initially when you post, and also so that people can track and visually see who it is that they're interacting with. So it's all about brand recognition and getting this right. So something really important to get right from the offset. So our profile picture at the moment isn't looking all that exciting. I just want to do something really quickly with it, and that's just add a black stroke around the side so that it's a bit more bold and a bit more compelling. So I'm going to take this opportunity to show you the best way to optimize your profile picture and make sure that you're not cropping off any of the edges in this circle. So this is Instagram's format for profile pictures is circular, as I'm sure you've noticed. So if you put a picture up there which is square or rectangular, then there's a very real possibility that you could cut off the edges here at the corners. So I use Photoshop. This is a premium bit of software. It's by no means as inaccessible as it used to be because it's available on subscription for a much more reasonable price. It depends which software you're using, which photo editing software you're using. There are free options online like Canva, but there's so many. I'm just going to give you a brief overlook of how I do it in Photoshop, and I'm sure you can figure it out in whichever software you use. It's definitely worth getting to grips with at least one bit of photo editing software or image editing software because it's really going to make your job, your life a lot easier, and also avoid you having to shell out for graphic designers for things that you can do really quickly. So I'll demonstrate that now. So I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to make this square, so 500 by 500, just because that's a good size to work with. And then, so to get around this, the issue that the profile photo crops to circular, I'm just going to create a circle by dragging from the top corner right the way down, and then when it's in the center, you see that's aligned, and those pink lines means that it's right smack bang in the middle. So now I've got this circle. I'm going to fill it black, so that gives us a real good look at where those corners are that are going to get cropped out. So don't worry about this black circle now, we're going to get rid of that in a second. So I'm going to go over to our logo, copy it, and then paste it into this file, and then I'm just going to resize it to make sure that it's all inside the circle. A bit more perspective on this. And I'm just going to get rid of these little white nuggets here. So now we don't need this circle anymore, that's served its purpose, we can get rid of it. And I'm just going to add a small stroke. Again, adding a stroke isn't something which is necessarily important to you, this just happens to be what I'm doing with our picture to make it more stand out a bit more. So as you can see, that's added a bit more to it. So I'm just going to export this as a JPEG. That's important. Instagram likes JPEGs, it doesn't seem to like pings. So profile photo. There it is. That would have been quite difficult to gauge where the corners of our circular cropped photo would have been. So using that template's definitely made that a lot easier and more accurate. So we'll head over to Instagram, click on our profile photo, upload, and then we can use this photo here. Now we're done, submit, and then we head back over to our profile. And as you can see, that's a bit more bold, a bit more eye-catching, so I'm very happy with that. So with the profile photo, if you do have a brand image, such as a logo, then it's definitely really important to use this, because obviously then not just people who already know your brand will be able to recognize you quickly, but also people who come across you and are starting to build that relationship. Then if they keep seeing your profile photo over and over again, then it's subconsciously building a bit of familiarity and starting to build that relationship, which is going to be really important later on for actually selling product to these customers. So very important to get this right. If it's not a brand image such as a logo, if you're a personal brand such as a person, if you're representing yourself for whatever reason, maybe a personal fitness trainer or a life coach or something similar, then just to use a clear representation brightly lit of your face is perfectly good and very applicable for your brand. So depending on exactly what you're doing, then that's going to depend on your profile photo. But just those things to get right is to make sure that it's bold, to make sure that it's cropped correctly, so that you've not lost an eye in the corner here where it's been cut off, just so that people recognize exactly who you are and are building that all-important familiarity.